Now check again, you seem to have some point value.
And
You gotta mute on your laptop.
You said, oh, baby.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
We're ready.
Ready.
Okay. All right, good evening, everybody. This is the Monday, August 18th meeting of the Select Board. With me, I have Ellen Rosenfeld, our clerk, Craig Schultz, our vice chair. I am Erin Underhill, the chair. We have Mike Kaczynski, our town administrator, and Karen Bray DeMarzo, our assistant town administrator. We have a pretty full agenda tonight, so we will get started with announcements. The first announcement would be for the middle high school project update.
Yep. So I'm gonna take that, because we had a school building committee meeting the other night. And, it was very informative, and there's going to be another school building meeting. Is it next Monday?
25th, yep.
A week from tonight?
There's one that got called for tomorrow night to rediscuss the budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that one, yes, so there is one tomorrow night, but the one that's an in-person one, that's in person, right? They're coming?
Next Monday is in person.
Is in person. And that's when we make some decisions between, what is it, the school committee?
It's the school committee, the school building committee, and the select board, and the finance committee has been invited to be a part of the discussion.
And the discussion is to settle on, Craig, do you know this? What's gonna happen next week?
We have to vote the final amount of the budget to send to the MSBA. And then MSBA takes that final recommendation from the committee and the town, and it's gotta be voted by the school committee and the select board, I believe. Takes that final recommendation, and then it turns that into a formal contract where they agree to pay a certain percentage of it.
Right, so that's big.
It's a huge meeting, yeah.
That's the big meeting, and all the information that's gonna come out of that meeting, and that is a week from tonight, in person here. And you can zoom in, of course, but the meeting that we had a few nights ago, was some significant, changes and good news came out of it. So I don't know if people remember, but when we started this process, of course, it's been whittling down, but the last number that we had for the ad reno was around 127 million, I think,
It was,
130.
it was a range that was higher than that. 127 was actually less than what the range was.
Yeah.
But it was
up there.
it was up. It was a large amount.
So they've been working diligently. When I say they, I mean the architect, the engineer, and the school building committee has been working every night, every minute to whittle this number down. And they've been doing, it's Tape and Vertex of the architect and engineer. I'm not sure if that's the right order. But they have been doing an incredible job. And I don't know if it's because they know us, because they've done some other projects and they're finally taking what we say to heart, and they are just pairing. So they pared it down from the 127 to 130 to
That was higher than that. They pared it down to 127. I was gonna look for that initial number, but I can't remember what the first set of numbers was.
yeah, somewhere in the 130s or
Yeah.
whatever. And we're now down to, after all this work that they're doing, we're down to 63
For the town side.
for the town side. So the whole number got down to, yeah, it got down to 127, right? 127,096 from up in the 130s.
Yeah, I think it might have even been higher than that. We'll get the exact numbers next
Right.
week. But what they've done is they've been able to pare it down on the cost of the school to 127,000. Now they're meeting again tomorrow night evidently, because the engineers gone through all the contingencies, and we love our contingencies in this town. And he's been able to find what he believes is absolutely safe, $2 million more of contingencies that can be removed.
Okay.
Still leaving us with a massive contingency. And the thing with contingencies is they're not reimbursable by the state. So if you don't spend them, it doesn't go on your taxes, obviously. But when the state's telling you how much it is per thousand of house valuation, they assume the contingencies. So that $2 million comes off and it makes it much
Right.
more affordable. And we really don't need it. I mean, there's a lot
I
of
have a lot
contingency in
built
it.
in.
And
So,
then,
yeah.
and then the other piece that's huge, and this is more important, I think,
Yes.
is total cost.
yes, so the other piece is the contribution by the state. We've been talking numbers anywhere between, I don't know, 35 and 38, maybe 40,
40 was
maybe,
optimistic,
maybe,
yeah.
very optimistic. But they, Tape and Vertex has figured out the sweet spot that the MSBA likes. And it's not so much a total number, but it's a per square foot number.
Yeah.
That was my understanding. And if you could hit that spot with the state, which the square foot number now is brought down to, what was my square foot number?
It's in the 500s.
Yeah, 550, right?
Yeah.
550 a square foot. Well, what it does is, the state likes it, so they, and because we brought our total number down, then, and they like that number, so they bring their percentage up. Tape has told us that a minimum that we will get, from the state is 45%, and it could be as high as 50%.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that's incredible. So not only do you bring the total number down from in the 130s or 140s, wherever we started, down to the 127, then from that, their kick-in on a lesser number is a higher percentage, so it's like this win-win. So
Yeah.
it looks like, we could very well be from, we were talking about an 80 million contribution from Millis.
Yeah.
That it's now down to $63 million.
Yeah,
So
that's a
That's-
huge change.
something,
Yeah, that's massive. And then we will, once we get the final confirmation from the state on it, because we don't want to jump the gun. I mean, it could be anywhere from 45 to 50%. Right now, all indications are 50%. But if anybody knows me, I'm pessimistic on these things. I don't, I go low, so I'm figuring 45%. But the state will tell us what it is. And once the state tells us, they sign a contract. And that contract is binding, so they won't change it from 45, from 50 to 45 and halfway through the project. It's going to be a locked amount. And that really moves it from, as Ellen said, about an $80 million project to the town to 62.5 million dollars for the town, which is significant. I mean, that kind of change really makes the project far
well,
more.
it makes it, right, because the numbers we were talking about, the do nothing all at once was 75 million.
Yeah.
And the do nothing over 10 years was 80 million. And now,
Yeah.
the get everything is 63 million. So good news
Yeah.
all around. But we'll get that
Much more next week.
when,
Yeah, well, we'll get the
No.
contract sometime in September.
right,
But we'll have a good indication, where we're gonna be.
So I just confirmed, that the Zoom meeting of the school building committee is this Wednesday
Wednesday.
at 7:30. So they just, they had canceled it, but they just put it back to do some additional work on these things, so.
Yeah, thank you. I was gonna say, I don't think they could get Tuesday night that quick. Yeah.
Already the Tuesday first.
Thank you.
right. But that's just, I think, to look at your contingency, right?
Well, not my contingency,
Well,
their
but you-
contingency.
but you-
I called up and asked about it.
Yeah.
But it was, it's the engineers. I mean, I just said that, you know, can you look at it?
Yeah.
They
They're
thought it
willing
was
to look
very
at
safe.
everything.
Yeah.
Which is good news.
Excellent news. Awesome. Okay, and the next announcement is recognition of the Millis Garden Club.
Okay, so this is a little tricky because the Millis Garden Club doesn't want any recognition, but they should get it. Because a lot of us probably don't even know we have a Millis Garden Club, but we do. And from what I understand, and you can fill in if anybody knows more than me, because I went online and they don't want to be found. They don't want to be contacted. They don't want to be appreciated, but too bad. There's three, I think there are three women, right? I only know two of the names. Madeline Good and Wendy Joseph.
Yeah.
And I know that they,
I think there's a couple of others, but that jump.
but they don't want
Yeah,
us
they
to know,
don't.
so I can only do so much sleuthing.
Yes.
But
Yes, they don't want new members.
you see them they're like, I don't know, vampires. They come out in the night, they're gone in the day.
The garden.
I was
But
gonna
you
say
see
garden
their
fairies.
work.
Yeah, garden-
Garden fair.
garden-
No,
Garden gnomes. They're.
you see their work, you see their work every day. You see it here
Yes.
at Town Hall, it's them. The
library.
no, the
No, not
library,
work,
nope.
yeah.
No, she does some of it. I
Does
have
she?
seen her in the front,
I
the
thought it
butterfly
was
garden that's in
them.
the front, and she does that.
But the latest piece that they did was Toll's Corner, Towles. It's by me. It's on the corner of Middlesex, Ridge. No, not Ridge, Middlesex,
Orchard.
Orchard, 115. It's the big triangle. And it has been a mess forever. And there's a plaque in there. You can't read it. And you can't move and you can't do anything. And every year they're out there working with what they have. But this year, they decided, I don't wanna do this anymore. We need to rip it all out and start over. They got the DPW involved. They came down, pulled out everything. And it is spectacular. You can see the plaque, the stone, the whole corner, and it's them. So a shout out to the Millis Garden Club. They'll probably be mad, but the last time somebody be mad at me. Or the first.
All right, I was gonna say, and the shout out to the DPW too,
Yes,
who answered the call right away. I know
Yeah.
Jim and the,
they were down
and the
there.
guys were there right away when she said that they wanted to do that, so they've been doing a great job. Of getting out there, so thank you.
Yes, thank you. The next announcement we have is chapter 90 funding update.
Jim, do you wanna give the good news?
Want me to do
Good news? Oh, geez.
Let me, I'll
I was gonna say, let-
I'll handle it. So historically, over the past, I wanna say 13 years, the state has basically set a figure of $200 million a year for chapter 90 that they put out to all the towns. All the towns have to share it based on a formula.
Can you
And
explain chapter 90?
so chapter 90 is a program where the state, based on a formula of population and road mileage, will basically give grants for street maintenance every year to municipalities. So every year a town will get notification that, this year you get a, certain amount of funds. I think the town historically, since I've been here, it's somewhere between 260 and 290,000 a year we've been getting. Last year they did like a one-off, an extra bump, but this year they actually made the decision to add another 100 million, so an increase of 50%, which is a big deal. And they added another program where based on different formulas, they'll give some additional on top of that. But so the good news is that this year, the town of Millis is gonna be receiving $559,490.38 in basically chapter 90 funds. So that will help us out tremendously in being able to pave streets, repair streets. You couple that with the funds that we've been able to fortunately put towards this. And we've been able to the DPW's been able to get some really positive impacts on the roads in the community. And that's on top of the, is it 1.9 million? I give Jim the credit for that, Jim and his staff for putting the work together to really go after the state on 109 and get them to commit that funds for all the work that was really just done in the last couple of months on 109. That was almost $2 million of work that was done on. So it would have taken us a long time to do that piecemeal over many years. So hopefully the people are noticing in the community improvements to the roads.
Sidewalks too?
And we're also working on some sidewalk grants for downtown right now. So there's definitely some additional good work coming along. So we certainly appreciate the patience of the public. We did have, we were constrained for a long time because of finances, but now we're able to really try to get a lot of this done. And since I arrived, it was one of the big comments is we have to try to improve the roads and the holdup. We have a great DPW that do great work, but you need funds to hire companies and get asphalt companies to come in and pave the road. So it's been a great project over the past couple of years to get that done. So my kudos to the DPW and appreciation of the townspeople for putting forward that money and approving it at town meeting, and to the state for finally seeing that the 200 million a year divided by 351 cities and towns is really not enough. So
Can they take it back?
they can always try to take it back. Unfortunately,
Hey,
We'll spend it.
we're
yeah,
gonna try to spend it.
keep going fast,
spend it
yeah.
as quickly and as wisely as possible.
So,
Okay. And then the last announcement that we have is about the Community Connect.
Speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So Community Connect, so Millis Fire, introduced Community Connect. It's a new initiative designed to enhance our emergency response and better protect the residents of Millis. It's completely voluntary. But you can go on to Community Connect on a link. It's on the website, and we've been pushing it out on social media. Again, I know Fire's been really pushing it out, and you provide information about members of your household so that if there is an emergency, they already have some important information in hand when they arrive at your home. It saves time, saves lives, hopefully. And we're really excited about that. Again, it's completely voluntary. You don't have to sign up, but we strongly recommend anybody who's able to go ahead and do that. And again, go right to the homepage of the website. You can read a little bit more about that and click on a link to sign up.
So, Madam Chair, I'd just like to speak on this, Jim McKay, I live on Village Street, and I'm a parent of a 38-year-old autistic child. And when this came about, this is such good news for somebody like myself,
Yeah.
who brings the child home, he comes home every other weekend. And to have that, the source being there for the police and fire, if they ever have to come to my residence, for them to know that it's, you know, we didn't have any of that stuff when he was an infant or a child or growing up. So I give great kudos to the fire chief for doing this and bringing this to our community. It's a source for us as parents of children like that. So good, I thank the chief for that. Thanks.
So that's linked on our website, right?
Yes, on our website is a link, or you can go to the fire
Yep. Mhm.
page as well, or again, any social media, or if you have questions, feel free to call our office and we'll direct you to it, but really important. Piece to add.
Yeah.
And as you know, we're already an ALS community, so we have the advanced life supports, we have paramedics here, so we are really fortunate that we have great medical emergency care here. This emergency care is the right word.
Yeah.
Response.
I suppose.
But yes.
Response and
And
care.
they're wonderful, so.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Any other announcements? No?
No.
Okay, great. All right, we'll move on to our scheduled appointments and hearings. The first is the Executive Office Assistant.
So Executive Office Assistant is a new position in the Select Board and Town Administrator's Office. It's an 18-hour a week position. And I'm very pleased to recommend Janet Nahas, hopefully I'm still saying that correctly, for appointment to this position. Following a thorough interview process with several qualified candidates, Janet did emerge as the ideal choice for this position. Her extensive experience in office management, coupled with her evident enthusiasm for the role, make her well suited to support the needs of the executive office. Some of her role will be taking minutes for these meetings, which she's going to learn on the fly a little bit, but is happy to do so. And she's done a lot of accounts payable processing, and she's going to be doing that as well.
As well as doing minutes for the Capital Planning Commission and to provide some support to them as well.
Excellent.
what's Victoria doing?
The real job.
I'm worried about it.
I move that the board ratify the town administrator's appointment of Janet Nahas as executive office assistant with a start date of August 19th.
Which is tomorrow.
That's
Jen, I don't know if
tomorrow.
you just wanted to
Welcome
say
aboard.
hi, but yes.
Second,
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Motion carries unanimously.
Now, welcome.
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 Very excited. All right,
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Tonight I'll be asking for the board to ratify my appointment of a new human resource director. Shortly after the formal approval and funding of the human resource position at the spring annual town meeting. I did enlist the assistance of several town officials to conduct a search for the best applicants. And before I go any further, I'd just like to thank the following individuals for their assistance in this important search. Selectman Craig Schultz, Superintendent of Schools Bob Mulaney, Assistant Town Administrator Karen Beret DeMarzo, and Finance Director Jody Kersey. I'd also like to thank all the staff for payroll and HR, our current HR, for their assistance in this process. There was a lot of people involved in it. It's an important appointment. We wanted to make sure we got the right person. So this dedicated group of town officials worked closely together over a 3-month period. We did review over a dozen applications, which we received. It was widely advertised. We did have a total of 3 rounds of interviews. And we are extremely fortunate to have received applications from several highly qualified applicants. At the conclusion of this process, it was the unanimous consensus of this group that Julie Alden Cullinane was the best applicant for this vitally important position for the town. Julie has a Bachelor's of Arts degree from Boston College, a Master of Arts degree from Bridgewater State University. She has over 10 years of experience in a variety of HR leadership roles, including public health, government, and education. We are very excited to bring her on board to provide the lead in the growth and maturity of our new human resource department. So with that, I am formally requesting that the board ratify my appointment of Julie Alden Cullinane as the town's first human resource director with a start date of September 2nd, 2025.
Okay, I move that the board ratify the town administrator's appointment of Julie Alden Cullinane as the human resource director with the start date of September 2nd. Now, I was told a long time ago in my job, follow somebody who either failed miserably or they created a new job for you. So congratulations.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Welcome aboard.
Welcome,
It's a big night.
welcome.
Yeah, fantastic.
I don't know if they both, they're not on, I don't know.
Oh,
if
they're
they're
not.
If you want to go up to the podium just for a minute,
Yeah.
just to say hello, so the public can see them.
Hi, my name is Julie Alden Cullinane, and I've been in HR for about 15 years, in leadership for about 10.
And you did kind of do it, like 4 inches, they say. but-
There you go. Oh,
That's good.
no, That's good. I know, they're awful.
I am local, I live in Bellingham, Mass. I'm I look forward to being here at Millis and to help out with the HR department. Everyone's been so wonderful and welcoming, and I can't wait to get started.
Great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jenna, do you wanna come say hi?
Oh, it is.
No. You're gonna stay shy, but you will see her soon enough because she'll be right at the window at our office, so.
If you'd like to meet Janet, you just have to come down to
Come
the
down and-
selectman's office and go to the front window. Nice to meet you.
Look forward to your report. Yes, thank you. We're very excited to have you join the team.
Thank you.
Both of you, yes.
Okay, and our next appointment is for an Enterprise Advisory Committee member.
Oh, I think you
Skip one.
skipped the temporary.
Oh, temporary public health nurse. I'm so
So-
sorry. Go ahead.
It's all right.
We're
So,
out
Madam
of order.
Chair, due to the very unfortunate recent resignation of Sarah Ward as the town's public health nurse, we didn't scare her away, I promise. It was for family reasons, that she has notified us that she's going to step away, at least for a while. Due to that, I'm requesting that the board ratify my appointment of Ann McManus as a temporary public health nurse until such a time as a permanent public health nurse is appointed. Ms. McManus has over 50 years' experience as a nurse practitioner and is very familiar with the operations at the Board of Health. I consider that we're very fortunate that Ms. McManus is available to assist us and stepping in immediately to this very important role. So with that, I would request the board's ratification of my appointment.
I move that the board ratify the town administrator's appointment of Ann McManus as a temporary public health nurse until an appointment of a permanent public health nurse has been made.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Great, thank you.
I just wanted to add that Anne served in a very similar role during COVID.
Oh, okay.
She came on board to help us, so she's not stepping in brand new. She's been assisting, and she's also just the senior Woodblock program at the Board of Health, so she's very familiar.
Oh, beautiful.
So,
Great.
And Sarah has been a pleasure to work with. She has done all her work in the office very professionally. She's taken on additional tasks in the office and led that area of the office very well. So we are gonna miss her. Hope she stays involved and maybe someday she'll step back into the role.
Yeah,
Thank you.
fantastic.
Good luck.
Okay.
That's
And
our point.
now it's our appointment, the Enterprise Advisory Committee member. So we received an application from John Wacklewick.
We'll call
We'll call.
Qualic, okay.
Qualic. Okay, John has, let's see, his most recent experience is with the Council on Aging. And he is interested in, and he has also volunteered, from 2014 until the 2020 shutdowns. I'm sorry. That
With
was
the
a little
Milford
jumbled.
Senior Center.
With the
Milford.
Milford, thank you, with the Milford Senior Center, yes. So, he's been a volunteer and is looking to expand himself into the Enterprise Advisory Committee. So we welcome John.
I'll make a motion that the board appoint John McCullough as a member of the Enterprise Advisory Committee through June 30th, 2026.
Did you want to say anything, Jim, or no?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you want to?
well, we met John, we had a meeting, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, but it's nice to have a full complement of people.
Yeah.
I mean,
I bet.
Okay,
Excellent.
second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
I,
Motion carries unanimously. So we now have a full committee, just
Yes,
fantastic.
Yeah.
awesome.
Good. Okay, so next we have, a discussion of survey results for opioid use disorder treatment and support, as well as, some approvals therein related.
Oh, yeah, we can sit.
Yeah.
Did you?
So you thought Sarah was done, but here she is.
Wait, can we do this? We made an appointment.
So I did have a little PowerPoint presentation about the survey results. I'm not sure if I can connect it though, so I could just talk about it if that's easier.
That's fine.
You can, or I was gonna say, you can
Connected.
do through the Zoom. Are you on the Zoom meeting?
I tried to do that. and it didn't.
No,
I was gonna say Victoria's better to do that.
Oh, thank you, Victoria.
The meeting wasn't started yet. Sorry,
That's okay. Did it work?
yes. Password.
The SB meeting, so capital SB.
We're gonna probably.
Thank you. Eating.
SBM is.
SBM are all capitalized. And just
Eating,
eating.
SBM eating.
Eating.
Gotta be careful with this password spell.
And I can't get it to connect, so.
That's not an issue. Okay.
Yeah. You would join.
Victoria saves me on a regular basis for Zoom, so she's our de facto Zoom expert in the office.
I have
The
one of those in
office
my
expert.
office too. Be quiet.
Yeah, that in many parts of your life. Promising.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Light showing.
It's a miracle.
There you go.
Perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So,
So is everyone aware of what the opioid abatement funds are?
No,
So pull the microphone as close as you can, it doesn't pick it up, I'm sorry.
So you want me to go over a quick overview of there?
Sure,
Okay,
I do.
so, the opioid funds in July 2021, Massachusetts Attorney General announced, our state's participation in $1 billion nationwide resolution with opioid distributors for their part in the opioid epidemic. A part of the agreement is 40% of what the state recovered from that is gonna go to municipalities, and the state is keeping 60% to go to a fund called the Opioid Recovery and Remediation Fund. The point of the services is to supplement and strengthen, the point of the money is to supplement and strengthen the services in the towns that we already have. And they're very specific about how the money can be spent, so there's 7 different categories of how this money can be spent. It can be used for opioid use treatment, just for disorder treatment, support people in recovery and treatment, connections to care, harm reduction, addressing needs of criminal justice, involved persons, supporting pregnant or parenting women, and preventing misuse of opioids and implementing prevention education. So we, in the town of Millis, started what we call the task force that involved myself, the Board of Health Director, the Administrator's Office, police, fire, school nurse, and the social worker. And a couple residents involved too that had been affected by the opioid epidemic to discuss how to spend the money. One of the other parts of the agreement is that the town get input from residents on how they would like to see the money spent, so that's why we did the survey. So for the survey results, a majority of the respondents were female. The age range, the majority were in the 50 to 69 age. And then, as you can see, 35 to 49 was the next largest respondents.
I think 70+ was the next one.
They're close.
They're very close, but I think 70 wins, just depending your people.
Thank you.
And then here's the demographics of the race, and I think it does reflect the demographics of our town as well. So one of the open-ended, or one of the questions was how you've been impacted by the opioid epidemic. About 40% of people have been impacted in our town. 43 reported death of a family member or friend. 32 of the respondents were reported being a person in recovery. Some other things were, they responded they currently use opioids. 7 reported job loss. And 1 impacted incarceration or criminal record. So the top 3 priorities that our residents chose were to prevent misuse of opioids and implement prevention education, support people in treatment and recovery, and opioid use disorder treatment. Some of the barriers to treatment that were noted, the biggest one being stigma, which I think is definitely something that the more we talk about it and the more resources we have, I think that we can kind of start to break through the stigma. There's also a lack of knowledge of resources, so I think if we can get more resources in town and get the information out there, and then costs were the other big one. So there was an open-ended question about ideas or recommendations for how the town of Millis should consider spending their money. Some of the big ones that were kind of repeated over were prevention and counseling, helping people into long-term programs. One of them was Support Safe Coalition, establish local recovery centers for services, some more support community and social events for those affected, and education and prevention. Those are kind of like the key pieces that were echoed over again in the responses. So that brings us to what we came up with Safe Coalition. We had talked about this in the task force after we went over the results of the survey, was working with Safe Coalition and what they could bring to our town for us. And I think one of the biggest things that they're willing to do is have an actual clinician in our library 2 hours once a week on a walk-in basis, so anyone who, even if they're not ready to totally go into treatment, they can start to talk to somebody and see what options are, what resources there are for them. And I think the walk-in,
I was gonna say, we also wanted to make sure, we are already doing something with Chris's Corner, which is for the school. We wanted to make sure this was something that could be utilized by all ages and not just school kids, because you go through school, you're say, stay no to drugs, you know, all that stuff, and then you get out of school and you're an adult and you just have nobody to talk to anymore. So we wanted to make sure that this hit all people, and it doesn't matter if you're 18, fresh out of high school trying to deal with this, or if you're 65 and you can't keep a job, you know, we wanted to make sure that there was an option for all. Sorry.
and then the other thing that Safe Coalition will do for us, is they'll support, coming to community events. And prevention and education, so if there's a night at the school where there's a parent night, they're willing to come and do a table at something like that. Just to get information about the resources out there in Narcan.
I have a question about Safe Coalition. Is that a governmental agency? What is that? I don't even know what that is.
Nonprofit.
Just a nonprofit?
So
How many-
I think she said, they started from Franklin, and I think when she said something. I don't know, she came back to Franklin, moved back to town, and basically everybody was dying or addicted to drugs that she knew, and there was no help. Nobody was answering the call, nobody was connecting people to services, so she took it upon, she being Miss Jen, took it upon herself and started the Safe Coalition, and now they work with all these surrounding towns, and they do great work connecting people to care and making sure that if somebody needs to talk to somebody, that they will answer.
So we work a lot with Amy Leone through Community Impact as well. And we put money towards that through the marijuana funds. This is another organization. I think Chief Barrett has a pretty strong relationship with the Safe Coalition, so we kind of use both.
Yes, so this is in conjunction to what we already have set up. This is not like gonna replace what we already have going on at the schools and through Chris's Corner. This is just to add an additional thing, another resource for people to use.
So there's money associated. We pay for this.
Yeah, they'll bill us quarterly, and they're willing to do, a 6-month trial period to make sure that we're happy with what we have going on.
Okay.
So the original contract was around $45,000 for a year. And we went through the contract and
Wait, a quick question.
Yeah.
Have we ever used them before?
safe.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that the fire had a contract at one point.
But-
Yes.
Yeah,
but this contract that you're thinking of?
no, this is
No,
brand
this is
new.
great.
Brand new.
Yeah,
This
And-
piece, yeah.
Yeah.
this,
We've had a long relationship with the Safe Coalition.
Right, they've done events and stuff that I've seen and attended. And also this is paid for out of the opioid settlement money, and that's about, what, 15,000 a year, 20,000 a year?
I don't know if you have I don't know off the top of my head, but
So the way the funds works, a lot of the, pharmaceutical companies paid out a large sum of money in the beginning. They paid out a couple years at a time. So right now, total, we have $119,000 of opioid funding. And then for the next, it's hard to say exactly how much we'll have every year because there's new settlements still coming out. We just signed on to the Purdue Pharma one. And then I just got another one about, they reached it with 8 new companies for a settlement, so it's hard to say exactly the amount that we'll be getting from here on out, but they're expected to, so far, about $25,000 a year, and the payments are, some of the companies will go out to 2037.
So this new contract, you were saying it started out as how much?
that's $45,000 a year, and we took a look at the contract and, decided
That's a lot.
it was a lot, and we wanted to make sure that if we're providing these services for people, that one, are they being used? And is this the best way to spend money? And 2, how long can we provide these services for somebody? If we're paying $45,000 a year, in a couple of years, the money's gonna dry up.
Right,
So we thought, let's do a short $10,000 6-month trial period push this out on social media, on everywhere, trying to have you guys announce it at the meetings.
I like the new Victoria. I
So-
do.
We want, this is very important to me, this is like personally important to me, so that's why I'm involved in this. So
Awesome.
I wanted to make sure that these were things that somebody could use, and, you know, we had other things in there like pregnancy support, but we're already part of a Metro West nurses pregnancy support thing, so I was like, why are we paying for this when we're already part of that? So we got it down to like the meat and potatoes,
And you'll push it out
And
and
we're
you'll
gonna
see
push
if
it out.
people use it.
yes, so that's why we only did 6 months.
And I'd
So-
like to also make sure we reserve some money out of this
Right.
that we have, what'd you say, the 119,000 plus 25-ish a year to pay for the community impact program we do too, which has
Yes.
had great traction, and is also another resource. So
Absolutely.
I really do like the fact you're doing this trial approach at a lower dollar amount to get our feet wet with it.
Yeah, so I assume we'll collect statistics on how the weekly office hours go and see, you know, if anybody comes to them
Yes.
and then reevaluate from there.
In 6 months, you'll be hearing back from me. Yes.
Okay.
Excellent, yeah.
Yeah, really excellent.
Yeah.
By the way.
She
Very
did.
Well, thank you.
Okay, get out of the way. Good job.
All right,
So, Madam Chair, I'm actually requesting that the board authorize me to sign the client services agreement between the town of Millis and the Safe Coalition. For an amount not to exceed $10,000.
Madam Chair, I have a couple questions or comments.
Sure.
Jim Duffy, 343 Exchange Street. Programmatically, this contract is a piece of an overall program. From what I'm gathering, I'm not aware of an overall program, but who's in charge of it? Let me just couch this right. As I read through the contract, there's no reporting, right? How do you manage success, right? What's the criteria which anybody can measure success to renew it or expand it, for example? But that may be part, that reporting or statistic capture may be part of a program. I don't know, I'm asking that question, right? So programmatically, what's the overview of which this piece falls into? Or is this just a standalone service? Who's gonna manage it? How does it get managed? Et cetera, right? So that's the question, and if there's no program that's gonna report, then this contract
Well-
ought to report.
well, I would think that since it's a 6-month contract and they'll be coming back in 6 months to ask us to extend it. If they come back with no data or data that doesn't support extending, I'm thrilled to take a flyer for $5,000, because I know the organization, they do good work. But when they come back to ask us to extend it, I would expect there to be statistics, and we can let Sarah or Jennifer rather know that that's our expectation.
Yeah.
Because even if it's not written into the contract, if you're seeing me every 6 months for an extension, I would expect to hear you've had this many visitors.
Which is why
Yeah.
we chose 6 months.
I think that's a really smart approach. And the other piece that I like about it is it doesn't use all of our money. We're not just turning it over, because we do have a very successful community social worker program through, had the name a moment ago, I'm just,
Community.
Community
impact.
Community Impact. And I'm not sure how that will continue to be funded, but if I have 119,000 plus 25,000 a year coming in, and I'm rolling 10,000 of it into this program, assuming it's successful and we extend and everything else, that still gives me a reasonable amount to continue funding that social worker program over the next several years as we feather that into the budget. And we know that one's successful. The police have spoken to us numerous times about the success with that program.
Yeah. And then I heard a couple hours a day at the library. Couple thoughts on that is,
It's not a couple hours a day at the.
No,
It's a couple hours.
it'd be I think it's 2 hours.
2 hours a week, okay,
Yeah.
at the library. So two thoughts are, people may be reticent to go in person. Is there some ability to create a phone line or something during that hour? And then only during the day, some people do work,
We
can't
did.
get there, can't take advantage of it.
Yep, I did talk with, her name is Stephanie, she will actually be the clinician that's coming, she is going to vary throughout,
Staggering.
throughout the month.
And how do we communicate this opportunity to people? to the town?
So we are gonna put it out on the Facebook page, announcements of the select board meeting, put it on the town website.
Yeah.
Obviously.
We can have it posted downstairs, or whatever, all the things.
Yeah, we can certainly throw it out to
Yes.
Millis Community.
Do it fairly,
Media, and
fairly
everyone-
frequently, not there once type of thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be,
Sort of like
Recurring.
Yeah.
recurring, yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent work.
yeah,
We'll put it on your Facebook page.
Mine?
yeah.
You don't care.
Yeah, it's incumbent on us to get the word out because that's the only way it'll succeed or fail.
Yeah, and I think back to the reporting, it'd be nicer to see those results at some point, either monthly or quarterly, going along to the public as opposed to at the end of it, that's just.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right,
That's Gus Easy for a living, and looking at it from a different aspect. I'll use Amy Leone because, you know, she's done wonders, you know, I've gone to her for advice and she's been tremendous. So that's been a success. I have no doubt that this will be a success in a small town where resources are limited. We need that, you know, we need that, so let's give this a shot, hopefully it'll work out. And as far as technology, I think everybody's gonna know about it. Social media is everywhere, so, thank you.
I do have one question before we move on, if I could. Jim brought up an interesting point. Is there, maybe not through Safe Coalition necessarily, but is there some kind of a text line or something for opioid help?
I think it's.
I think they have that right on their website.
Oh, they do, okay.
and the police station was very helpful with the other group. The people in our town that needed her assistance were able to meet with the police and get that assistance going. So I think there's a lot of avenues that can get the word out to those in need.
That's a good point, Craig. And the
Yeah.
other thing is to reach out, right, to police or fire and say, or if people are nervous about the police, reach out to fire. Again, yeah. they
Yeah, but
connect you
everything-
To services.
Yeah, but what we've heard from our police about the other group, the community impact, they were more than willing to come and talk to our police officers about it,
Yeah,
because we have a
either.
very good relationship with the parties that are in need of this.
Just one more question, I'm sorry. So, I'm not aware of the community impact program. The one question I understand why this is opioid, it says opioid because there's funding, but
Yeah,
is there an ability to expand this to other substances? And maybe that's what the community impact program does, but there's a lot of other
Yeah.
substance abuse issues.
So the opioid, sorry. The opioid fund is very specific from the state that it has to be spent on opioid abatement, so it needs to be related to opioids. That's
Understood, yeah.
how the state has put it for us.
Yeah, but my comment is we as a town.
Yeah, the community,
Do we have-
if I may, Madam Chair,
Mhm.
the community impact services are a bit broader. They would cover opioid issues, but they also cover all kinds of other, social, family, other types of issues. So, if it's someone came to, this organization, they might then get referred to a community impact.
Never turn somebody away.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter the substance, they would
Right.
never turn their.
There are a lot of
They would
resources.
Yeah.
still.
Okay, thank you.
all right. I'll move that the board approve and authorize the town administrator to sign the client services agreement between the town of Millis and Safe Coalition for a not to exceed amount of $5,000 every 6 months with renewal for 1 6-month term, not to exceed $10,000 in total.
I was gonna say, it was written as the whole, but.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Great job with the presentation.
Yeah.
So there's also a request, by the Safe Coalition to place a flag display for International Overdose Awareness Day on the front lawn of the town hall. From Friday, August 29th through Monday, September 1st. So we should.
Yeah, I'll move that the board approve the request by the Safe Coalition to place a flag display in recognition of International Overdose Awareness Day, which I believe is the 31st of
It is the
August.
31st.
Of August, on the lawn in front of the Veterans Memorial Building from Friday, August 29th to Monday, September 1st. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the same period it was last year too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So,
Number of flags represents the number of lives that have been lost in the prior year due
Okay.
to opioid overdoses.
got it. All right,
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
I,
Motion carries unanimously. Okay, next, we have a hearing. We are late for. We have a hearing for the Verizon Fios cable license.
I move that the board open the hearing to review the proposed Verizon Fios cable license renewal. Goodbye.
I knew Aya thinks she has to stay.
Oh,
Bye.
Second.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the hearing is now open.
So Madam Chair, you do have the complete proposed license in your packet. It also has been, available on town's website. There was, two, postings in a, local newspaper of general circulation to meet the legal requirements of the hearing. I know that Attorney Solomon was here at your last meeting. He had a medical issue this evening, couldn't be here. But you do have a final agreement. He says he has indicated everything is in order. Really going through the public hearing process is the final step to approving this, to see if anyone from the public has any comments or concerns about the proposed license.
Okay, excellent.
Jim
Hello.
Duffy, 343 Exchange Street. I read the packet. I don't see a cost in the packet. Also, the packet was somebody.
It's not a
Yeah,
cost. Yeah.
It's, so there's no cost from the town.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, it's the license agreement determines how many funds that Verizon will provide to the town.
Oh,
Or
for
it's
it's
for-
for this money?
Yes,
Oh,
They just throw it at us.
so there's.
didn't say that.
So there's two main components to this. One is the PEG access funding, which is 5% of their gross receipts. They supply to the town, and that along with the funds from Comcast or Xfinity is those funds come in and is really what enables us to have Millis Community Media do all the good work they do in the town. There's also capital payments that are made on a certain periodic basis in the contract that Verizon is required to pay. There's some upfront payments. And again, those allow Millis Community Media to purchase equipment, to pay for other necessary items for their operation. So essentially, the license is essentially unchanged from the last license. It's just a continuation for 5 additional years.
Right.
So it's a contract for 5 years.
Yes,
Can the town get out of it if something was to happen, like?
yes.
Because sometimes you get locked in and it's tough, you can't get out of these contracts.
Yes, it's very rare that a town needs to get out of, usually it's the private company that tries to do that, but there are safeguards in here that prevent them from doing it in a way that really harms the town financially.
Under the town's protected, that's.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And as I said, I've had discussions with the director of Millis Community Media, and she's confirmed that they are in support of the license.
Excellent.
All right.
Any other discussion from the audience for the contract?
I move that the
Okay.
board close the hearing to review the proposed Verizon Fios cable license renewal.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the hearing is closed. And now we could vote to approve.
I move that the board approve entering into a license renewal agreement between the town of Millis and Verizon New England, Inc. for a term of 5 years as written.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay, the next thing we have is to discuss the universally accessible trail proposal with Mr. Stedman. Hello.
Thank you, Senator. I appreciate you putting me on the agenda.
You thought it was gonna be a long contract discussion, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I hope to help you get back on schedule. My objective here is just to get your support to go to the CPC to ask for funding.
Mhm.
And I'm on their schedule for the 25th of September. So after tonight, I will fill out the application. I assume everybody knows what a universally accessible trail is. It's for people that are mobility impaired. And there's not a trail like that anywhere around. This affords people the opportunity to enjoy nature, and even if they're in a wheelchair or some other mobility device. Why and why RGE? But there's nothing else around it. We have an aging population, as you all know.
What is RGE?
Regency of Glen.
Glenelg, Regency of Glenelg.
No, it's the Glen.
It's the Glen. It's not the-
Today, it's something else.
Yeah, it's at the Glen. That's what the big sign is.
Okay.
And the Conway study, one of their recommendations was that there be the town build a universally accessible trail, and the Glen, Madam Rosenfeld is the place. And this would be no cost to the town. Going to the CPC for all of the funding, first for the design, and then the way that was structured, when Glen Ellen was approved, the condominium association is responsible for all maintenance. So it's not a part where, there's no money for maintenance. This would be maintained. It will also improve actually the flow through the floodplain, which the Conservation Commission supported. When it was a golf course, they had a little dam there and they were drawing water from the brook. Well, nature prevails, and nature rerouted the stream, carved it right around the dam, and into that floodplain. Right now, the trail that goes up to the bridge actually blocks the two halves of the floodplain, so water doesn't flow downhill. It builds up and then eventually goes over. The bridge itself is about 4 feet above the floodplain, so there will be some grading on that side, but it will improve the flow. There's abundant wildlife there. This morning when I walked, there was a mallard duck, there's some black racer snakes, there's some bear scat there today. So there's lots of good stuff there. Round numbers, I'm guessing $15,000 to do the design, but I'll let the CPC know that it could be $100,000 to actually build it. I've calculated those numbers, but we won't know till we get a design. I'm working with two firms to potentially give some bids on design, Northeastern Trails and Conservation Works. So, any questions?
Yes,
I got a million questions.
I think you had mentioned somewhere I read.
Yes.
Something about potential for grants. Are you also looking at grants?
I assume that Bob Weiss would do that,
Okay,
but from what my understanding of grants are, you have to be prepared to fund it yourself in order to even ask for a grant. So the first thing is to get the design, and then after we get the design, we can go out for bid to construct it, and at that point is when you go for grants.
okay.
And
I would agree fully. I mean, I'll be speaking with Mr. Weiss tomorrow about this, but most of the grants that the town would apply for would require that study, that plan in place, which would basically be the basis of our grant application. So
Okay.
it's something that's gonna be investigated to see if at least a part, if not the whole cost of the construction could be offset by grants, but it's something that we can certainly take a look at.
Okay, great.
And when the Regency of Glen Ellen, whose full name
There you go.
was built, this was, I don't know, deeded's the right word, but this is public land. I mean, this was set aside for the public
Right.
in Millis to use, not just the residents of the Regency.
this area
Yeah.
is open to the public.
Right.
And at least half the people that
Right.
use it are not residents of Glen Ellen. They use the parking lot, they walk in from Orchard, they come down from Bullard Street.
Is this the same, okay, one question.
Yeah,
Is there already, this whole trail is there, you just wanna make it for an ADA?
yes.
It's already there,
there.
Sorry.
It's already there. It's 10 feet wide.
10 feet wide, and what's the material? Just dirt and?
Some of it's grass, some of it's paved. The tool ripped out the pavement going up to the bridge. and it eroded, and there's crushed stone there, which is eroding, and it's just, that part's not good. Then once you cross over, there's a section that's paved that gets out of the buffer zone, then some grass and then some more pavement. This would, it's about, it's a little over 1/10 of a mile from the parking lot, which is a public parking lot right off of Orchard Street to the bridge. And then after that, it goes, around some trees, past an old green. And then, the Conservation Commission approved an alternate trail, in the upland, which, goes along an old fairway, on the edge of a meadow that's cut every October, to pavement that's a hairpin around, 4 magnificent, eastern white pines. So it would go, loop around there and then come back. The total length would be a 1/2 a mile each way, so a total of a mile.
So so do you foresee for this to be ADA,
Yes,
does it have to be paved?
no,
No,
there
right?
are a lot of, there are a lot of pervious surface materials
Fine.
that would work. And that is one of the requirements from the Conservation Commission, that it be, pervious.
Okay. Is this the same trail that they let horses on?
Yes,
Oh, I like that. I haven't made it up there, but I'm gonna make it up.
I haven't been there yet either. I
It's
need to
nice.
go.
Is
Yeah.
it nice?
It is nice. I've been on it once.
Part of the old golf.
Yeah.
Right,
right,
huh,
And you're looking just for our
Yes.
endorsement?
yeah.
Just for no formal
No
vote.
formal vote, but
Expression
yeah.
of support
Right.
for the.
I think it sounds great.
I think it's a great idea to bring in, ADA access trails. I think it's.
Yeah. And I think it's a perfect place for it.
when you
So-
you say as part of your thing that this is really the only place, and you know every trail in Millis.
Pretty much.
You do,
Maybe even one you don't know.
yeah, absolutely. This probably is the only place,
Yes, I mean,
no question,
it's got parking,
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
and
That makes sense
it's
to
level
do.
and it's open to the public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're looking for support, I'm in favor of it, absolutely.
Yes.
Me too,
Yeah.
me too,
So take that for what it's worth.
yeah.
Okay.
And I'll see you at the
For what it's
CPC
worth.
meeting. I'll be there.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Okay.
Jim is up, I don't know if we wanna, it should be a very brief request to consider waiving a building permit fee. That I know I don't know, Jim, if you mind,
Oh, that's fine.
it should be all in
Okay.
1 minute, I would think.
Yep.
If you wanna come up.
Hello.
I'm a contractor and I issued a permit, requesting for a permit for improvements at Millis Housing Authority. It's just changing, some storm doors and rebuilding some decks. So the building inspector was generous, you guys, thank you for taking this on notice. Request to favor, like waive the permit fee.
Mhm.
That would come out of Millis Housing Authority, not out of mine. I'm trying to save some money for this.
Yeah,
I'll
so-
move it, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was just gonna say that under the board's policy,
Right.
specifically town projects are automatically excluded. But because this is sort of a quasi, it's a state, even though we're in partnership with a state, it's a state. So therefore, technically, we felt it should come back before the board, even though we support it, it should come back before the board.
I move that the board approve the request to waive all building permit fees associated with construction project located 6 through 24 Daniel Street, owned by Millis Housing Authority, as submitted by EC Interiors LLC.
Second,
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Thank you, sorry, thank you, Jim, I figured it was gonna take all of 2 minutes.
We have Adrian, or is she?
She has not joined the Zoom meeting, so I.
I'm
don't-
here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Here you go. Can't see you. Oh, there you are.
Hello.
Phew.
Okay, so I'll start, what a great discussion tonight on a couple of things coming
Yeah.
through Millis residents.
Exciting.
And now we're gonna get into spending money, that's always.
That's what you're here for.
Absolutely.
We saved it till the end.
So every once in a while, as part of our permit, we have to look at changing different regulations, part of the stormwater. And Kleinfelder, over this past season, came up with these changes that are mandatory for us to change. Adria will introduce herself and she'll go over this little slide deck presentation. I think you all got it. It's all highlighted in red that's in the packet. And you do have you have the right, you are the commissioners of the stormwater, to make these changes. They do not have to go to town meeting. As this is part of the bylaw, but this isn't a bylaw change. Regulations, you have the right to change during the, different parts of whenever we've framed you. What you just started from here.
For those, we need to add page numbers on here.
All right, can you see my screen?
Almost, yes.
There it is.
It's thinking, okay, all right, great. So my name is Adria Fichter. I'm a water resources engineer with Kleinfelder, and as Jim mentioned, we've been supporting the town on their MS4 effort. So that's municipal separate storm sewer system, so your drainage system, and supporting on just the permit requirements for the town. So as Jim mentioned, there are requirements pretty prescriptive in the permit that all permittees have specific ordinances or regulatory mechanisms to enforce the permit. So the town has been, working hard on all the obligations under the permit. So this is just kind of one of those elements. And to do that, the town, you must update your Article 1, land disturbance and post-construction stormwater management to support this program. So this isn't unique to Millis. And again, the permit is very prescriptive. So the red lines that we've prepared are straight from the permit language. And this isn't new to, any contractors or developers. They're experiencing this, throughout communities in Massachusetts. So Jim mentioned you have the full outline, but this is specifically their updates to section 7.1B. And so this is for new development as well as redevelopment of sites. I'm sorry.
No, it is helpful because I could actually see where it is in the other document. That's better. So we say, wow, that's small. You can index immediately off that into the document that you provided with your other red lines or blue lines in this case, and it works well.
Okay, perfect.
Ellen just likes to complain.
I do.
So the updates are, in section 7.1B, and they are, again, they're language directly from the MS4 permit. They are applicable to new development sites, which those requirements are a little bit more stringent to the redevelopment sites. So just given that a redevelopment site, you have a little bit more restriction on what you can do, what you're able to do there. So that those requirements are a little bit less strict. But again, these are this language is directly from the permit. And so the second slide is for the redevelopment sites. So again, very, very similar language for both, but slightly stricter for the new development sites.
But the main point is we don't have a lot of latitude to say we don't like this.
Exactly.
I learn to accept my fate sometimes.
Yes. And that's it for the regulatory requirements right now.
I was able to look this over earlier, and I mean, it's mandated, so
Even if you understood it.
even if I understood it, I don't know what I changed. When I hear that it's mandated, it's mandated.
Right, you kind of lose interest when you hear that.
I do.
Fair enough.
Tell me I have no say in the matter, and I move on quietly.
Quickly, yes.
Quietly and quickly.
So Madam Chair, before you take a vote, the enterprise committee did review this and they voted in favor of this also, at one of our prior meetings. We checked with town council, and town council gave you the authority to, well, they didn't give you the authority, they assured me that you have the right to vote on these changes without going to town meeting.
Perfect.
Okay. What do you got?
I move that the board amend the town of Millis stormwater management regulations adopted on June 28th, 2004, a long time ago, and amended on June 5th, 2006, and amended on February 12th, 2007. Article 1, land disturbance and post-construction stormwater management, section 7, plans MSB standards 4, 7, and 10 as presented.
That's it.
You done?
That's it.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
We have another one?
Thank you, you're all.
You're all
Thank
set.
you.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Is there people for PFAS consulting, or is this just you?
What are we next? We're next start talking about the
Yes.
sewer connection.
Okay,
PFAS.
Staying with.
Yeah,
So this is our standard update each year, PFAS consulting services. And every year we come, this year, quote is for $108,000. And that's, I gave the second page of the breakdown of what is actually included in that $108,000.
what's the first one though for?
So the one for 10,000?
10,000 for PFAS consulting
The one right
services.
above it?
Okay.
Yeah.
See, now you got me all confused.
I know, I see that.
I'm sorry, I apologize about that. So this is for, as you know, I sent you a whole bunch of legal, things that we just submitted
Mhm.
in the past couple of weeks. This is for our consultant to advise the town administrator and myself on, review of different, testings. And it's along with, assisting legal expenses. We do need an engineer to look at, test results that have come back from different well testings that were done by the, private people that are, I don't know how much to get into with legal talk, but, they're coming against us. So we do need Kleinfelder to, assist us with that. Last year we appropriated $10,000 and we're not asking for it to be, not to exceed another $10,000.
I move that the board approve and authorize the town administrator to sign a contract between the town of Millis and Kleinfelder Northeast Inc. for PFAS consulting services for FY 26 for an amount not to exceed $10,000.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
They're just to make sure that we're doing what we should be doing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
It's worth 10,000.
Yeah.
And they're representing us. If we have to go to court, something like that, then we do.
More important.
They have an LAPC, is it what is it, the licensed professional
Oh,
land surveyor, person,
Yeah.
one of them. So the next is the $108,000 for the whole year of different types of stormwater.
Yeah.
And that's where I gave you the second page, the breakdown. The annual report is $13,000. The ID support is $23,000. The plan update, and those are both filing permits, is $17,000. Training is 12. Phosphorus control planning is $24,000. That bad word, phosphorus. And also, and utility billing for updates, that's what assisting the treasurer collector's office with updating the annual billing. And it comes to 108, and it's not to exceed. Last year, we did not spend anywhere near that $108,000, so this is just a preliminary budget number.
I move that the town, I move that the board approve and authorize the town administrator to sign a contract between the town of Millis and Kleinfelder Northeast Inc. for stormwater consulting services for FY 26 for an amount not to exceed $108,777.
second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. And Jim, it looks like you're
Now
up
we're-
next again.
Now we are.
Yes.
So I had a discussion at a last enterprise committee meeting and on this, I talked to the town administrator and assistant town administrator about this today. What we'd like to do, now that we have a full contingent with the, enterprise committee, we'd like to do, maybe come back with a presentation, on exactly what you're looking for, other than just saying, well, this is what Medfield pays, this is what, we'd like to do a total survey, come back with a full presentation. We looked at the numbers. They're definitely, the connection fees are definitely trending down this year drastically. They're nowhere near what other years, because there's just the building is slowed down.
The revenue, not the revenue from fees, not the
The
fees
revenue.
themselves.
No, the fee.
The connection fees have dropped.
The collection of the.
Correct.
connection.
Collection,
Oh.
not the
Yeah, yeah.
rate,
Not the
but
rate.
the revenue,
Right.
overall
Yeah.
collection, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and again, that's just because not many
Right.
people are tying in and there's not many construction projects going on. And I think that what we'd like to know is, we don't see that it being a certain amount of money that comes in from this, that is not gonna really affect the overall percentage of the rates. Unless it's something.
Right.
So we'd like to come back with something of, this is what we think of the
Yeah.
best way of doing it. And now that we have a full vote contingent. And I'd like to also thank, while we're on that discussion, I'd like to thank Todd, who stuck with us for a couple of years on the enterprise committee, and he did a great job. And was experienced, was very good, you know. It's now that me and Mr. Duffy are not sitting there talking to ourselves.
Yeah, I think this is a really good idea, Jim,
Yeah.
and I think, you know, I wanna say be competitive, I guess, in
Yeah.
what we're charging, you know, compared to other towns, so I think that's a very worthy endeavor.
Yeah, I would also suggest if you're looking for another project also, this is gonna be good. I'm just paying the water bills on a house that's been empty because we're renting it, and I just finally got a tenant. And the capital fees, since they're not based on usage, I would like to, and now that I've got nobody living at home except my wife and I'm noticing this more and more, that if we could figure that, if there's a possibility to base that on usage. So that that fee is spread more equitably and not a giant fee for every home, it's just based on the amount of water used.
That's something that's part of the, when we did the last water.
Yeah,
Study, and there's still a little bit of funding left that we can have and look into that.
that'd be great, and I'm not sure what the answer is, but I think it's worth looking at and finding out.
And also with that, we're looking at, you know, the transfer station. I was gonna ask if, even though
Yes.
it's not under their purview. And again, instead of me getting a bunch of numbers and saying.
Yeah, you said you were gonna look at that
Yeah.
last year.
And I'd like to, you know, present it through the enterprise committee, maybe have that as a, and.
I think that's
Mr.
very
Duffy,
worth
whether he
doing.
wanted to accept it or not,
Still accept.
he willingly did it.
What else has he got to do?
I just wanna point out, I qualified for the discounted rate this year, so let's not get rid of that.
Yeah.
Let's not move that up.
Was that age related?
It was,
Oh,
It is.
awesome.
yeah, but it starts at 62. Let's not set that at 65 now, don't tease me.
Was there before and after a year?
Yeah.
You are not 62.
I am,
Shut up.
actually 63 now, I had a birthday.
Well, first of all, happy birthday. Second of all, you look great.
Thank you.
Ask a question. Yeah, hi, Jim Duffy, Enterprise Advisory Committee Chair. So along the lines of the connection fees, is there a thought as to why we're doing this? And let me just say that in 2024, we had 14 water connections. In 2024, we had 27 sewer connections. In 25 thus far, we had 4 water connections and 6 sewer connections.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a giant revenue generator, but I do think that it's worth remaining competitive, so that's my thought on it. And we just
They
haven't,
need to be cheaper than that.
No, no.
no, we need to be, I would like to be,
Yeah,
I would like to be just a hair less than everybody else.
I just wanted to.
Yeah.
Point out our value for the dollar.
It doesn't, when you're looking at your fees, you don't base it on the demand or the not, nobody's gonna not come because they got a thing and our
Right.
fees are a little high. That's not what you do. You just, every now and then, 4 or 5 years, you have to look at, you have to review. I do it on my storage facility. What's the guy next to me doing? Am I under? Maybe I'm over. You don't know, and there's a sweet spot. I don't wanna be the most expensive, I don't wanna be the cheapest.
Yeah.
Right. So, you gotta.
Yeah, I just want an
You gotta be in there,
Yeah.
listen, people are weird, if we're too low, they're gonna go, what's the matter with Millis? You know, you're too low, they're gonna say, what's the matter with it, nobody wants this town, if you're too high, they're gonna say, what do they think they are?
Okay.
That's all.
and Jim, I think the transfer station, sorry, the other Jim.
Yeah.
Transfer station's really good to look at. You know, I finally joined again and have brought plenty of large items that
I
I
never
paid
think
a
of it
mere
as
$25 for and should probably be paying more, so. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think of it as a joining, I think it's a service, but I now that you're thinking it's a club.
Just get your,
It's service.
get your
Yeah.
hat.
As we know with the Republic, you know,
Yeah,
many communities are going through right now.
Yeah,
So,
certainly.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think if we call it a club, we could even charge higher, right?
probably.
Right?
Card.
Comes with a free
You
hat.
get a sticker,
I've been a member of that club,
Little bit of
32 years.
there's cats.
I'm 23.
Ellen, I
Yeah.
agree with you. I think anything like this, even at the license fees, all of that needs to be looked at.
It has
So
to be,
many
it does,
ways. You
yeah.
can't
Because
just
it gets
leave them.
away from you.
It does get away from you very
Yes.
easily.
And again, now that we have 3 people,
Yeah.
2 of them look a lot smarter than me and Mr. Duffy, so.
And you're taking the meeting tonight, you know, like, yeah.
He's
So he's
administrative.
been around long enough.
He can take it.
I'm not saying much.
So we'll be back.
Excellent.
I would ask for maybe January or December, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
An update.
That sounds fine,
Okay, thanks.
thank you.
So you.
So there's one more thing,
Just one more.
GCP.
They have a GCP contract, so, this is for a contract of $35,000. If you read the contract, what's it for? It's for, engineering services for the preparation and plan of the town sewer system as required by the, our new pollutant NPDES permit, and now we have our own permit. The sewer,
Oh, good.
no, it's not what's gonna cost us more money, so what we're gonna do, what this is exactly gonna happen, we already know where all our lift stations are, now we have to go out into the private sector and find out. And we have to know exactly the size of the pumps, the stations, and then all the private industry. So there's a private pump station at Charles River, Glen Ellen has 3 of them, Heritage Path has 1, Key Street has 2. Hickory Hills has another, and I think there may be 1 or 2 others. So they're gonna come out, they're gonna survey each one of those stations. So what that means is that we're gonna be the permittee, and they're gonna have to permit through us. And it's gonna have to be a reporting. They're gonna have to test their stations. But until we don't know what is there.
Mhm.
And it can't be done in-house. We have some of the, we have Hickory Hills, and we have Glen Ellen, and that's all we have. So,
So these HOA situations where they,
Yeah.
okay.
and there's a big discussion, I mean, once we start doing this, there's gonna be a discussion that most of these people are gonna come, the homeowners association, they're gonna want us to take these over. And there's been a lot of work through being on the planning board, most of them, well, 3 or 4 of them, were permitted through the planning board since I have been on it. And it's always the cost of the station, we don't want that cost. But that's a decision that, you know, Mills residents gonna have to make.
Well, when they were permitted, was there any? Was it classified that the stays?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely, most definitely,
Yeah,
legally
right.
they were, right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay,
But we've been
you're
approached by
coming down.
myself and
huh?
I know you're coming down.
the town administrator and I have been approached by, you know, mainly the Charles River group. They have not an abundance amount of money, but they have money in their homeowners association, and they would just love for us to take that over. So here's the money,
Yeah, I'm sure they
that
would,
would only take care
Yeah.
of one little, you know,
Yeah.
pump replacement.
but my question, are there any of these that don't even have an HOA?
No, I think every one of them.
All right.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel good about that.
Yep.
All right.
Heritage Path's a good one, Key Street.
Okay.
I move the board approve and authorize the town administrator to sign a contract between the town of Millis and GCG Associates for engineering services for the preparation and plan of the town sewer system as required by NPDES permit number MA 0102598 for an amount not to exceed $35,000.
Hold on, freeze. Looking at the fee schedule though on this,
It's not,
it says 35,200. Is that a big deal?
Jim's gonna beat him down by $200.
yeah, if that's the road you took, I'm sure we can take.
Okay.
I can amend, but
I
yeah.
wanna take a vote for $25,000. 10-2 off of it,
Okay, motion on the floor is 35,000.
second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
That's your select board,
Thank
saving
you.
you $200 right there.
My pay.
Okay.
So the next item, Madam Chair, is a request for referral of the ADU bylaw amendment to the planning board. If you recall, we did approve changes related to ADUs as required by the Commonwealth. The Attorney General has determined that parts of our ADU bylaw are too restrictive. There were a number of towns that ran into this, and speaking with town council, Attorney Talman, they've recommended these changes, which, all seem fairly reasonable. I think the planning board is ready to move forward with this and put it before the voters at the fall town meeting to come in line with the Attorney General's notations on the needed changes. But as part of the process, as you know, the board needs to refer these bylaw amendments back to the planning board for their action in preparation for the fall town meeting.
Okay,
All right. I move that the board refer the proposed bylaw amendment to the zoning bylaws, section 5, use regulations, H, accessory dwelling units, ADUs, is prepared and presented by the town council to the planning board for public hearing to be held at their meeting on Tuesday, September 9th.
Second?
it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
My son's begun designing.
Okay.
First.
So next we have the vote and approve and sign certificate of vote for the Cedar Street and Morris Street parcels.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As we're coming to find out, as we dig deeper into the process of selling town-owned land, it is about a 5 to 6 step process. There are many steps involved. We are nearing the end of the first 2 parcels that were approved at town meeting last fall. This is one of the final steps, is for the board to formally vote to approve and sign a certificate of vote for the transfer and sale of those properties. So in your packet, the information related to this, and we've also put together motions approved by town council for the board to vote on this evening to finalize this process.
I move that the board sell as authorized by Article 15 of the Town of Millis Fall Annual Town Meeting of November 19th, 2024, the property known as off Cedar Road, parcel ID 21012-000 to Roach's Building Company, Inc. for $15,000. And further authorize the board's chair, Aaron Underhill, to execute and enter into any and all documents necessary to effectuate and the disposition of said property.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, motion carries unanimously. Next,
I move that the board sell as authorized by Article 15 of the Town of Millis Fall Annual Meeting of November 19th, 2024, the property known as off Morris Street, parcel ID 40100-000 to Michael O'Keefe for $2,250, and further authorize the board's chair, Aaron Underhill, to execute and enter into any and all documents necessary to effectuate the disposition of said parcel.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, next we have a 1-day alcohol license for Bogastow Fishing Game Club.
So there are 2 licenses. The board actually approved one for an event that they just had on Sunday, which I hear was very successful. There are 2 more events, the Bogastow Fishing Game at 247 Ridge. One is on October 18th. It is the Comcan Employee Party from 6 to 9 p.m. And the other one will be on September 13th, which is the annual Bogastow Music Festival. Looks like number 14.
Okay,
And that's, I'm sorry, from 12 o'clock to 9:30 p.m. So that one's all day.
okay.
This can't be right, they're way too early.
Right now.
All right. I move that the board approve a 1-day special alcohol license for Nate Voltinsky on behalf of the Bogastow Fish and Game Club located at 240 Ridge Street for the Comcan Employee Party, October 18th, 2025, from 6 to 9 p.m.
You have to read those yourself,
Yeah,
sorry.
247 Ridge Street.
Yeah.
I second.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Welcome.
as unanimous as we can get.
I move that the board approve a one-day special alcohol license for Nate Kaczynski of the Bogastow Fish and Game Club located at 247 Ridge Street for the Bogstock Music Festival 14 on September 13th, 2025, from 12 to 9:30 p.m.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
All right, next we have a water and sewer commitment.
Madam Chair, I'm recommending that the board approve the water and sewer department commitment to the collector for July of 2025 for a total of $3,536.24.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, just.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye. That was-
Motion carries unanimously. Okay, and then last we have approval of draft minutes.
I move that the board approve the draft minutes from July 9th and July 21st, and August 11th. Select board meetings as written.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries unanimously. And then,
I move we adjourn.
Second.
okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
We have things to sign around back.
Thank you,
Yes.
everybody, and thank you, Mills Community Media. Have a
Thank
great
you.
night.
So.
You recovered nicely. After Ellen derailed you for 20 minutes.